Hello, everyone. Hey, Luna, calm down. You want to get on my neck again, don't you? How's everyone doing today? Sorry, I went to go live and then she just went on her back wanting belly rubs. Couldn't resist. And now she wants to bunny hop. Do you want to just say bye to stream and then you can go bunny hopping? Hi, stream. Hi, stream. Look at that cute face. Isn't she adorable? Yes, you are. Don't worry, I'm supporting you from your bottom, so you're okay. You're sitting down like a good little girl. Okay, I'm gonna put you down now. Run around, little one. Be free. Oh, I feel like that's a bit too loud. Okay. Get rid of... Look, I ain't bold. Nothing. We literally just started, dude. We had shopping come in late, and then Luna started kind of doing silly things, so I kind of was late. Just a little bit with a bit of everything. Boo, bring Bella. She didn't want to stay on my lap. I tried to keep her here, but she's insistent on running to the other side, probably to chase Oreo. They've got some feudal war going on at the moment over territory. Oreo's winning, but he's also scared, so he stays upstairs. So Oreo's occupied upstairs and Luna's occupied downstairs. And when they meet and converge in the kitchen, that's when all hell breaks loose. I saw the new character in ZZZ actually. Looks pretty awesome. But hey, how is everyone today? Didn't think there'd be much to go over today, considering there's not been really a lot of news, but thankfully over the last hour, there's been quite a bit that has popped up, including the fact that I think I actually found a fan base that's way worse than the console and gacha fan base. If you have an opinion that differs from theirs, just wait, because they'll come back in hordes. And that's what they've done. You got a game announcement? What game announcement? But yeah, it's an interesting one, man. The movie fan base is crazy. They're even worse than Nintendo fans. And I didn't think you could get any lower than Nintendo fans. But you actually can get lower than the Nintendo fan base, and they're called the movie fan base. But the first piece of news that I've got is what was revealed just a little while ago, actually, at 8 o'clock. Xbox mode is now available and rolling out to all Windows 11 devices. Now, it looks like Windows 12 is going to be a bit away, as Microsoft has apparently openly admitted that Windows just isn't as good as Steam OS when it comes to running games. And so they're working on the K2 update, which will be something that's an ongoing piece of work for the next 2 years, that they're hoping to push through to Windows 11, potentially Windows 12 as well. But it looks like, based on what's going on, Windows 11 is here to stay for at least another couple years, and Windows 12 is quite a bit away. But Xbox Game Mode, which, if you ask me, worked really well for me, unless you've got it like super optimized your Windows and stripped everything down to the skeleton, like one person I know did. But other than that one person, which isn't normal behavior, the rest of the world just use their PCs as they normally do. Xbox mode helps you though. Subnautica. First one of today, Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era released in early access on Game Pass. Nice. There is literally nothing on the internet regarding that at all. Like nothing. There is nothing on there at all. So that's kind of cool. Woodpit, if they really wanted to on the Series X, they could. There's everything there for the Series X to run Windows. And if you ask me, if they actually did that, I think you'd find more people buying the Series X just to experiment on and to see what they can do than not. It would also increase the amount of people buying the external memory cards as well, because they're going to need more space. So As a short-term gain, you'll see a nice little bump for the series consoles and the memory cards. Second, next Friday, Jason Ronald is doing stuff about Project Heat. That's the GDC. But I don't think we're really going to hear anything much like important from that. It's going to be all techie stuff. There's going to be nothing that's, you know, the GDC isn't for consumers. It is more technical aspect of it. So, not sure how many people are really interested in looking at the ones and zeros. Most people just want to see how the end product is done, not how the sausage is made, after all. And finally, as you said, May the 14th, in 2 weeks, some rando Subo no Tika Solo Han Solo 2 is being released into early access. Han Solo, nice. Well, Forza Horizon launches later this month, yeah, and I think based on what we're seeing online, Microsoft is ill prepared for that. They're handicapping themselves heavily for the Forza Horizon 6 in the Far East, which is sad to see. Rabbi, I'm good. But this is cool, and if you guys haven't tried it yet, I recommend that you do, because I saw some really good gains from it, and I'm happy, and I was happy. You sent me a screenshot. Sent to me a screeny. Screeny. Ah, the game dev update, yeah. I know about the game dev update. I was talking about the Magic: The Gathering. I didn't see a single thing on X for it. But I did see this. Idea Xbox returns as presenting sponsor for our Gamescom LATAM edition, featuring a special spotlight on Latin American highlights. May the 1st at 2 p.m. Brazilian time. I have no idea what time that is in the UK, by the way. Is this even going to be live? But Idea Xbox is pretty much everywhere at the moment. There's a consumer electronics show, you know, it's not the GDC specifically, but it's a GDC style event that they're doing where they're basically going to be talking about the internal workings of the next hardware and everything else regarding Windows, and it's providing the developers with the tools they need to do their everyday stuff and make life easier for them. Like I said, it's a tech show rather than a consumer show. Hey, Robbie, how's it going? Apparently, this is tomorrow, but I don't know if it's live or not. There's nothing here to say if it's live or not. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. If it corresponds and overlaps with our, community night, it's a no-go. Hey, Rachel, you say that, right? You say that, but hold on to your horses, yeah? I saw something today that just killed me. It absolutely killed me. This is from Special Nick. This one absolutely made me laugh. So, Satya Nadella says, just wrapped up our quarterly earnings call. We are focused on delivering AI infrastructure and solutions to empower every... I don't know why that made me laugh so much. That was... If you didn't get it, the judge over here is depicting Satya Nadella and guy leaping over is basically the Xbox fans. That was just hilarious. It's like, we just wrapped up our quarterly earnings. Oh shit! I don't know. That was funny. That was really funny. I heard about Asher's latest tweet, and I think I know what it's talking about. It was about the earnings call, right? Or is that the... There's two. There's one talking about the earnings call, which I'm going to get to in a bit, and then the other one about the Auto SR. But yeah, I found this hilarious, by the way. She says, we are refocusing our AI efforts to solving player problems, like enhancing real-time graphics, improving discovery, and deepening personalization. Everything uses AI upscaling now anyway, right? Shipping is a good early example. Models reconstruct high-frequency detail from lower res frames, increasing image quality and performance. Auto SR is available now on the Ally, but for insiders. It hasn't gone to public release yet. I don't have a problem with AI. If AI helps make things better, speed things up, I think people look at AI as this big bad, but as long as you're using AI to work with you to make your job, more complete. Do the mundane stuff so you don't have to. It shouldn't replace people, but AI should be used to work with people. Obviously, companies aren't going to do that, but that's inevitable, right? That's why if anyone's seen Battlestar Galactica and seen the ending, well, you kind of know how this ends. We go back to the Stone Age. But hey, at least toasters will try and murder us at one point, right? Worried they won't get no more. Well, Byron, they are worried. Well, I don't know if they're worried, but I'm pretty sure now that Gears of War is going to be used as a case study for exclusivity. And there is a good chance that it's not going to be on Game Pass. And if it is on Game Pass, the next big title won't be. And it's going to be used as a case study to see how people react if they buy the games that are not on Game Pass. That's going to be a thing. Hom Olden? What the hell is that? Never even heard of it, man. But there's some new games coming from Idea Xbox. The three that stood out for me was R-Type, obviously. You got True Fear down here. Coma 3 is a visual novel, I think. But none of the others resonate or stand out as something I've seen before. So good stuff with that one. Oh, by the way, I've seen someone talking about Trepang lately. Right? I don't know who it was. It's this random game. I haven't seen anything about it. But I do know. It's right there on screen. Where? I don't see it. What, this one here? Oh, it is Heroes of Might and Magic. That's not what you said. This is olden era. You said Hom something. How am I supposed to know when you don't say the right name? Yeah, I've seen it. Again, it's not for me, but hey man, it's available on PC. Go grab it. The ones that I mentioned are available on Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One. So for those of you that want to dive in and still have an Xbox One and haven't upgraded, those games are available for you. But I was talking about this. So apparently Xbox Island, excuse me, you dropped this, available today with Xbox Game Pass. Now I don't know if this game is good, bad. I know a couple of people in Discord have been talking about it, but apparently the DLC for this is $5 at the moment. So I suspect that's going to be something like £3.50 here in the UK. If you have any interest in playing this, I think it's kind of expires today or tomorrow. Might want to pick up the DLC. It's dirt cheap because it's going to go back up to full price. It's a limited time thing available with the game, so might be worth a look before the prices go back up. What if slightly more people buy it, but more people unsubscribe from Game Pass? You know what? Let's jump into the earnings call, since that's what a lot of things are focused on, and we can continue with the rest after, because it seems like a thing that is segueing. So let's get that with the main conversation. Okay, here we go. So I posted yesterday saying that the next 3 months will be interesting to see if Asher has made any real impact. Now, obviously, the Xbox Defense Force came straight for me, quite vividly. You know, saying, how dare I, expect miracles in 3 months when it's actually going to be closer to 6 months. I didn't even say anything about miracles either. I just said it'll be interesting to see if any of her changes have had any real impact. But there you go. So Asher over here says, Xbox earnings today, while we have made progress expanding the business and our margins, player and revenue growth has not yet met our ambition. Because they've been stuck on that 500 million for a long time. They've boasted about that 500 million, but it's not increased. We know we have work to do to earn every player today and into the future. Wait, I'm not even showing the tweet. There you go. So you see the tweet. Now, that's a lot of PR speak to basically say, we've made money. Not as much money as we'd like. Clearly, the player growth has not gone up. Assumed subscriptions have probably gone down after the $30 price hike, which is to be expected. And it's not met their expectations, hence why they've made decisions to make Game Pass cheaper to try and reverse that. They know that they have work to do, which is essentially just, again, PR speak for, yeah, we get it, you guys aren't happy, we're trying things. And that's fair enough. But ultimately, all this is telling you here is, we've made a bit more money, and we've expanded our margins. That doesn't mean they've that doesn't mean that they've actually hit their margins, because normally studios have like a 13-14% margin, right? But Amy Hood has wanted 30%, which is crazy. Even Activision didn't have 30% with Call of Duty, but these people want 30%. So they've expanded the business and their margins, but I don't think they've actually met them, and I think they're going to have a reality check at some point. But the player and revenue growth has not yet met our ambition, so they're not getting the money that they are hoping for, the return. Now, if we look at the actual results, I don't care for the Windows side of things because that's just AI data and they're always going to be up, right? Let's see what chat is saying. What the earnings call tells me Steam is having an impact on PC revenue. Their games revenue is down. Makes sense. Well, Steam is always going to be. Steam is always going to have an impact, right? Look, if you put your game on Steam and your game on the Xbox Store, people are going to go to Steam. It's that simple. They're going to buy it off Steam. They're not going to buy it off you. If you put it only on yourself and not on Steam, there's a chance, like the Epic Game Store, that a lot of people won't buy it. But if you make it clear that these games will only ever be available here and nowhere else, the only other choice they're going to have is piracy. If they still refuse to do it. But more will cave in eventually. Also, they're selling less consoles. I mean, the selling of the less consoles is crazy. And that's what brings me to the Forza Horizon 6. For some reason, my feed seems to be occasionally flooded with, Japanese consumers that are picking up the Xbox hardware. So it's clear that the algorithm is promoting that sort of thing. But people are buying the Series X in Japan in anticipation for Forza Horizon 6. But there's for every one I see 20, 30 people moaning that they can't find Xboxes in Japan. Not the Series S or the Series X, and they want to buy it to play Forza Horizon 6. And they can't buy it. So it's such a weird strategy that Microsoft is doing at the moment, where this game is clearly aimed at the Japanese audience. Hey, Ghosty. And they're not catering for the market that could potentially, this game could potentially finally give Xbox a little bit of a foot in Japan. And they just don't care. It's weird. A lot of PC gamers won't buy a game if it's not on Steam. Vital, I know. I saw it with Alan Wake. It's mental. But they kind of assumed that it would one day come to Steam. Did it ever go to Steam? There's no justification for why a lot of games that launch on Xbox console aren't on Xbox PC, but they are on Steam. It's silly as far as I'm concerned. Yes. But Microsoft has... The Steam version of the game is different to the Xbox PC version of the game. They're not the same code. Right? Irrespective and irrelevant of the actual APIs that Valve requires in order to launch the games and everything else and make it Steam compliant, removing all of that, the code that makes the game work on both is different. And I've seen this through different games where DLSS is available on Steam, but it's not available on Xbox version. They're both on PC. They're different SKUs and have different work done to them. Alan Wake still isn't on Steam, and people won't buy it. No. But they are more inclined to buy it. If you make it because it's exclusively available on the Xbox hardware, people will buy consoles for a single game. They've done this for years. It's not a new phenomenon. I've done that, right? I bought my PlayStation because of Final Fantasy, if I'm not mistaken. I bought it for one game. If I remember, hell, I built my PC back then just so I can play Crysis. I spent all that money that I saved up just so I can play Crysis. Right? There are people that do that. And there's more people like that than people realize. Ghost of Tsushima was huge in Japan, so of course Forza Horizon 6 is going to be huge in Japan. Exactly. It is, because the Japanese love Japanese culture represented in video games. And this one has you driving in, Shibuya in Tokyo, you know, it's what they were. It's right for them. It wasn't available on PS3 at the time. I'm talking when it first came out, when it was melting PCs. Maybe it wasn't around back then, but the slogan was, "Can your PC run Crysis?" That was all people asked. That would determine if your PC was good enough to basically call yourself a PC gamer. Could your PC run Crysis? That was the benchmark test. If it couldn't, your PC wasn't worth its salt. You know, times were a lot simpler back then. That's still a thing. It's like, oh man, I got all these specs, but yeah, can your machine run Crysis? Well, no, well then it doesn't matter what specs you got. Move along, buddy. Next in line. Good times. Spider Studio, I think it's called. It was from Nacon. I did have an article here. Maybe I've misplaced it. I did have it. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, the studio that closed down is this one over here, Spiders. I was going to go through that in a little bit, though. Let's just keep on track of what we are going on and move in a sequential order. Each time I open a game on the Xbox store, I feel disgusted. I had too many problems with the launcher. I've never really had a problem with the launcher. I might be lucky. The only game I've actually had a problem with it is Master Chief Collection. That was the only game. I'm not going to count Aliens, what was it? Fireteam, whatever it was. Because apparently that has a problem on every PC launcher. It either boots for you or it doesn't. But outside of Master Chief, where the games literally just didn't want to load, I didn't really have a problem. Can't they order it online? Order what, Woodpit? I don't follow PC game news up until I was a Nintendo guy. You're a Nintendo guy? Sheesh! I should have known. Ubisoft and Nintendo? That is one hell of a deadly combination. So the financial reports is this you're seeing on screen. The gaming revenue is down by 7%. Content and services, and this is, including all the games that were released multi-platform and whatnot. Content and services, which is essentially Game Pass, has declined by 5%. Xbox hardware has dropped 33%. I mean, it keeps dropping by 33%. At some point, I think this number is just... It's weird. It can't be 33% every single quarter. The mathematical probability of it being exactly 33% every single quarter is weird. But it's these two here. Now, Amy Hood did say, the CFO, that the next quarter, which is the one we're looking at now, will be lower than the previous one, year on year, because of the strong releases they had last year during this season, right? This period. So they already knew that there was going to be a decline, which is why I'm saying that this isn't, the big deal that they think it is. This one that, the fanboys are saying it is. This one here is the big one. This one here, it's just constantly in decline to the point that it's just disappearing. And they need to change this into a plus. And to do that, they need to supply the console to more places. I mean, do they actually want to sell the console or not? Never had an issue with the launcher as such, but the fact that modding games isn't really possible through the PC Xbox, that is a big one, right? Woodpit, Xbox consoles in Japan? No, they're not even available. They're literally, a lot of places just can't, don't have them. People like to go into stores and pick them up and whatnot. and all the big chain stores in Japan, a lot of them just don't have the console. You know, there's a bunch that were named, and none of them have them, which is weird. This is the time where you kind of want to push the supply because you know the demand is going to be there, but they're not doing it. So, you know, the strategy is a little weird here. They've got an opportunity to slightly make a tiny dent, but I think, you know, the ones that are available in Japan, because they're in such short supply, the retailers are actually increasing the price of the hardware, the second-hand ones, and they're basically outside of people's retail range. It's horrible. But I think, you know, that's a big issue. Modding. So I bought Final Fantasy 9 on the Xbox store, right? Yes, I'm aware it's a PS1 era game. But they've actually got a new mod out for it. And it basically, they've redone a lot of the textures and everything with reshade and whatnot. It looks a million times better. No more like blurred stuff. They've even redone all the backgrounds from scratch, right? But you can't use that mod on Final Fantasy 9 on the Xbox PC app because the files are encrypted. Steam doesn't encrypt their files so you can use it. Even like mods for Starfield, you can't use it on the Xbox app. You can use the ones that are available, but anything that needs the SFE, you can't use it. So some of the more bigger, complex, and, you know, over-the-top mods that people use that require the SFE, you can't do that on, you can't use it on the Xbox PC app. So if Microsoft wants people to use the Xbox app more, they need to lax up their things on modding. They just need to let it go a little. Obviously, modding can open other doors for different things, but most people will use it for, you know, mods for games. Xbox might not make public how many sales any particular game that's in Game Pass sells. I think they should. EF100. I think they should start making those things public. The fact is, they're not making it public because it's not selling a lot. If it was selling a lot, you would know because they'd make it public. The last game to sell really well was Starfield. You see them talking about players. Look, Gears of War Reloaded has over 1 million players, right? They're not telling you the sales, but they're telling you players. And that should tell you everything you need to know. Don't get me wrong, having a lot of players is a good thing, because for a multiplayer game, it keeps it alive. And just the other day, Esteban, if you know who he is, where is he? He sent me something on Discord. Did he block me? No, he didn't. But Esteban sent me this. Oh, God. Yeah, Esteban sent me this. 56 million players on Forza Horizon. That's an insane number, right? Absolutely insane number. 56 million players. But they won't tell you how many people bought it. But I do expect a lot of people bought it. At least 10, 15 million combined between everything. Maybe even 20 million. But 56 million players is just bonkers. The way I look at it, the Japanese have had almost 6 years to buy into the Xbox platform. No, they haven't, because Microsoft has made zero effort to break into that market. They've made zero effort to get, you know, those to support that side of the gaming, you know, sphere. Where are the games that the Japanese like? They're not just going to buy the console if there's no games that they're into. The Japanese love their RPGs. They love their isekai. You know, they love their anime-based stuff. You know, there is a whole section that is really aimed at that, you know, that geographic. And they don't support any of that because they don't get any of those games. Whether you're talking about, look, just look at the new Tales game, Trails of the Sky, Chapter 1. Chapter 2 is coming out. It's on every platform under the sun. If Stadia was available today, it would be on Stadia, but it's not on Xbox. So, you know, Microsoft has to take some responsibility for that. There's just the thing. They didn't, and Microsoft just decided to focus. I mean, Microsoft didn't make any efforts there anyway, so I disagree with that statement. The problem is when you give your workers a margin target, they will focus on that. 100%. 100%. The moment you've got targets such as that to do, it's over. They have to hit those. You only have to check in 30 days. Dude, it's just a start. Once they hack something else, then it's going to grow. It's how it always is. It will get worse. Just wait for it. It also means that if you are going on a holiday and you want to take your console with you, and you don't, where you're going to a hotel or something, there's no internet or anything, you can't buy any new games to take with you. It's going to deactivate within 15 days. Forza 6, I don't know what it's going to do. And when it doesn't, only thing people will say is, but I thought they would buy it because it was set in Japan. Give them the option. Give them the option to buy it. Anyway. I think it's Xbox Play Anywhere Final Fantasy 9. I want 7 and 8 to get the treatment as well, so I can play those two. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm playing through the Steam version of Final Fantasy 9. Only because it has, I can put that mod on there. I wanted to use that mod on. Hell, I was even gonna go and buy it from GOG because Xbox PC app doesn't allow me to mod it, and I needed to mod. Devastated, check by DM. Where's my Discord? Xbox fanboy is exposed. He's gonna get exposed himself. And anyway, wasn't he the same person that started shouting at Sony and saying thing? When you're looking for a flip-flopper, you don't have to look further than Poeta Rock. That guy was literally on social media telling Sony to sort their shit out and all this and all that. This is not right. This is not this. And now Xbox fans are exposed? My guy exposed himself. He had no faith. And then still, I don't believe that Sony is done with them. The guy flip-flops himself. How he exposed himself. Devastator, thank you for the $2. I appreciate it. I'm just going down the list, my dude. Sony finally speaks. I wonder if Dreamcast guy actually ate the bullshit that Sony fed. That might be something worth checking out later for 5 minutes. NTE is also not on Xbox. Yeah, because Microsoft just doesn't like money. Like, there's so many ways that Microsoft can make money, and they're just not doing it. Okay, that's a bit not fair. That's a bit harsh. I do believe that NTE, because they're run by Perfect World Games, I do believe they have a contract with Sony to keep the game off Xbox. This is another one of those situations where exclusive deals are done to make sure that Xbox doesn't get the games and PlayStation does. Look at Genshin Impact. That was going to Nintendo Switch, and Sony made sure that it never went there. But that works both ways. Microsoft aren't going to put in money and resources to get Weeb games to pander to the region where they have never had any foothold. You can't have a foothold if you don't try. They did have a foothold in the 360 era. They had good games in the 360 era. The 360 did well in Japan. Well, okay-ish in Japan. It didn't light any fires. The Xbox One just died in that region because they just didn't care. And since the Xbox One era, they haven't cared. I did not ignore your super chat. I'm kind of going from top to bottom. And I did read your super chat out. I'll even highlight it. Hello, Shinzo. But I appreciate the $2. Devastator? I missed the Shinzo. I say bring back Zone of the Ender and Rumble Roses. See? My boy! He knows! He knows! He knows good games when he sees it. Rumble Roses is purely because of the waifus. But Zone of the Enders, ooh! That game was so good! He flip-flops every tweet damn near. Yeah, I mean, that thing that just Devastated just sent me just proves just how much of a flip-flopper he is. He literally will just parrot anything for views. Someone called the police. There's a man exposing. It's crazy. It's the fault of the anti-weeb on Xbox. We have no games. I mean, look. There is a thing where the Xbox base is more engineered towards bro games, like Gears of War, like Halo, right? And so when games like Helldivers come along, that game, I said this from the very beginning, and even Phil Spencer said it, right? What do you stand to gain from not putting in a game like Helldivers, which is clearly designed for the Xbox audience, not on Xbox? He was totally right in this because that sort of game would have sold gangbusters if it released on Xbox Day 1. If it released on Xbox Day 1, that game would have sold crazy. But it sold they ported it way too late, right? And it still did well. Even though they ported it late, it's still selling. But the European and American audience for Xbox is more into the pew-pews than they are to their fantasy. And that's not so much of a bad thing. But there is a niche audience there. Obviously a bigger one in the Far East. But then you've got stuff like the China Project, which Microsoft has made no advancement on. I know Asher has said that they're going to start looking into it. But it's been years since the China Project has been around, right? Why aren't you making those advancements? Like, I get it, but at some point, accountability has to be held by the management, right? They've deliberately made the choices to not follow through with those things. PlayStation gamers don't buy the PP games though. They buy the games that, they sit down for half an hour watching a movie and then move 3 steps and then thing again. Okay, I'm joking. But you get the picture. They like their narrative-driven games. Saros is a niche game. It's not going to sell very well. It'll sell maybe 1 million copies. Which is still decent, but for a console base that's, 100 million sold, as they put it, 1%? I mean, none of them care. Should we call the police on Curse Lounge too? Hey, look. My weenie over there, she doing good. She's being a brat, though. Look, when she's sleeping, when Luna is sleeping, she's a damn angel. After my little one plays with her and absolutely exhausts her, she's an angel. But man, when she has energy, good lord, she just doesn't listen to shit. I'm like, hey Luna, come over here. She's like, you ain't talking to me like that, are you? She's like, I'm the boss of you. And I just get into her thing. Count for nothing? Just because Xbox didn't make a cringy title for their effort doesn't mean. Anything else outside of Wu Chang? I mean, Wu Chang failed historically, but I think the studio shut down, right? That's how they pretty much got rid of everyone. No. They left because the studio decided to go in a different direction. The staff actually left. It was a thing. I thought Wu Chang was a good game. It was a Souls-like game, which instantly puts me off. But it's a shame that that game didn't do as well. Okay, let me rephrase what I said. They haven't done enough in China. I really liked Seros. I was absolutely terrible at it. The chat absolutely destroyed me in there. But yeah, I actually like it. I didn't get to play it today because I was planning on playing more of Ground Zero to progress, but I woke up too late today. I woke up at what was it, 12:30 in the afternoon. My sleeping patterns are all over the place at the moment. Couple of episodes of a show I'm watching at the moment, A Person of Interest, and then I started prepping for the stream. Yeah, but the ones at Idea Xbox, the smaller ones, just aren't going to get the recognition they need, right? People look at those as shovelware. As sad as that is, because there are some nice games that are indie, like that game I'm talking about, Ground Zero. It's such a good game. You know, people haven't heard of it. People probably won't hear of it. But it's such a good game. And if you like the old Resident Evil style games, it's worth your time. I've got a kind of like a preview of it on my channel if you want to go check it out. But it's a fun game to play. I played Wu Chang up to the first boss, and it was instantly a no for me. I even struggled getting to the first boss because I just didn't like the amount of thing. I just don't like difficult games like that, Souls-like games. You get one hit and you die. It's not my side of fun. Are they good games though? Are they? And so, you got here, Xbox went multi-platform and still in negative. Since Project Latitude, everything has been going down, even content and services. There has been a few break-evens and a little positives, but I mean, it's not true, this statement. Leadership change was necessary. Microsoft did a lot of damage to the brand, and new CEO Asher has a mountain to climb. You spent years telling everyone everything is an Xbox, which basically makes... Well, yeah. Guess what? People didn't buy actual Xbox. I mean, look. Guess what? People didn't buy actual Xbox. Well, no. I disagree with this statement from Hazardor Gaming completely. The reason why people didn't buy the Xbox, number one, is because certain games just don't appear on there. People want that. People are following their library. You know, Chris String did a recent survey recently where 51% of the votes that came in said that they buy consoles based on exclusivity, right? Well, no, sorry, it was 41%. But 38%, which is pretty much on par with the first point, it's only a couple, 3% away. People buy the console based on where their friends are. And I've said this multiple times. One of the biggest reasons to buy a console is going to be determined by where your friends play. That's just the thing. If you've got a bunch of friends that only play on Xbox and Xbox Live, you're not going to go and buy a PlayStation because none of your friends are going to play there. That's just common sense. And that's what was built between the Xbox One era and PS4 to where we are now. And in my eyes, that is equally as important as the exclusivity side. People buy consoles for exclusive games. But I think your friends has a bigger impact. That's just my personal opinion. I think the numbers should have been reversed, but them being so close pretty much tells you everything. But when you say, guess what, people didn't buy an Xbox, well, Xbox told people not to buy the Xbox. Right? Xbox management, PR, marketing, community manager, CEO, CFO, whatever the other bullshit acronym you want to put in there, they told you, do not buy an Xbox. We do not want you to buy an Xbox. No one at Microsoft wants you to buy an Xbox. This is the message they sent. They said, go buy a Fire Stick. This is the new Xbox. Or go buy this DVR receiver. That's an Xbox. When you tell people, don't buy my product, guess what? People won't buy your product. That's all I'm saying. If I tell you to not buy something that I'm building and manufacturing, there's got to be a reason for that, right? It was silly. And so that's why people didn't buy it. If you tell people not to buy your product as the owner of that product, then you have a problem there. All Xbox consoles combined have sold less than half of what PS5 sold in Japan. Even PS5 right now is struggling to sell, right? But yeah, I agree. Not gonna lie, I've made my niece and my wife's nephew Xbox gamers just because of cloud gaming. They play on it on their PC. Exactly. It's fine. And that's why Sony is opposed to crossplay. Yeah, because they want to lock you in on their system. And that's why they had that stupid clause where if a game sold less on PlayStation and more on another platform, because of crossplay, the publisher had to pay Sony the difference of their projected sales that they have lost because of crossplay. I think that's still actually in effect. They lost focus from the Xbox? They did. Friends are weak. I buy what I want to buy, then bully them because they bought something. Look, Gorsty, you have your goon squad and the white... Well, it's a marked white van. People are generally scared when they see that. I mean, the best place to play Xbox right now, Xbox first-party games, is PC. But that's a given, right? If you've got a powerful PC, consoles can't stand up to it. You get what you pay for. So Xbox would spend money and probably not see the return based on history. Maybe, but you either in or out. None of this tiptoeing around the edges on the line. Just choose a lane and go with it. If they want to go full third party, embrace it, man. That's what I'm saying. Embrace the full third party and go for it. I'd say they're about 40 million. Maybe about 44. They're in a tough spot now because the console market isn't growing. This is the thing. I agree that it hasn't grown in years, and the recession that the global economy has been in has meant people's purses are tighter. I saw a tweet today, actually, and it said, you know, if Microsoft reduced the cost of the console, more people would buy it. And then Puerto Rock said, look at these people thinking if Microsoft reduced the cost, people would buy it. Well, I mean, it's one of the most asinine views I've seen. If I can't afford $700 for a console, and you reduce it down to $450, I can afford it now. I'm gonna buy it. What do you mean the price doesn't make a difference? It's like the dumbest tweet I've seen in my life. But there you go. Apparently, a price difference won't make any change in the console selling. I don't know. I mean, I really think that guy has the persona he puts on is crazy. Devastator. We don't know what it is. Microsoft could easily come out and say what that number is, but they won't. And I think they should. I mean, they're in third place, right? What have they got to lose at this point? It's not like their shareholders don't know the information. To be fair, near the end of the gen, who's buying current gen consoles? At the right price, people will buy them. And the next gen is going to run Series X games anyway. And we don't even know what the Helix mode actually is. Will there even be a version of the next gen console, kind of what they're building for? Or will that just be the PC version of the game that's going to run on the Helix, right? And if it is just the PC version that's going to run, technically the console generation ends at the Series X. Will the Series X portion of Helix be able to utilize the additional power that the Helix is using to bump up what it's capable of, even if it is just by raw power, where the developers don't have to do anything, it just will utilize that raw power. So games that are running at like 40, 45 frames per second could hit that 60. We don't know any of this, and we probably won't until sometime end of this year or even next year. But in terms of what Helix is, we don't know. And everything like is pointing to Helix being super powerful, at least the premium version of it, not the cheaper version, which I still think is coming. So if that's the case, are they going to... They want to unify the code, right? They want to unify the bases, so the one code runs on everything. So wouldn't that just make sense for Helix just to run in like the console wrapper, the PC version of the game? You press the button on screen like you would on the Xbox dashboard, but instead of booting up the Xbox version of the game, it's going to boot up the Helix PC version of the game, utilizing all the power the machine has. That makes a lot more sense to me. They should try to make inroads into underdeveloped markets like Asia, Europe, etc. I feel like they're doing all the right work in Asia, because you see them, right? You see a lot of stuff in... I'm not sure if like many of you follow it, but they have so many of this, like searching for talent, teaching, going in, helping indie developers, and they do. Microsoft does a lot of great work in that aspect. They, help so many countries to, get on the board, get on the map. I just feel that they do all that work, which is amazing, by the way, because a lot of places don't. And they search for amazing talent that they can headhunt in the process, or at least keep an eye on if they're still early in their journey, to see where they're going and if they would be a good fit for hire. But I feel like that connection that they have doesn't connect to the gaming sphere directly, and it connects more to the corporate sphere. So the work is being done there, but they need to integrate not just the corporate Microsoft side of things, but the Xbox side of things as well. And I find with Microsoft, they find it difficult to kind of split the two entities. I know Microsoft and Xbox are the same. Microsoft obviously owns Xbox, but I feel if they acted independently, you would see more strides from Xbox and not being overshadowed by Microsoft constantly. And I feel like that is something that, probably will take another 5-10 years before it actually dissolves. And I think this is what Asher Sharma's doing, right? When you look at what Asher Sharma's doing, removing Microsoft Gaming, putting it back to Xbox, right? Changing email addresses from Microsoft to Xbox.com. All of this is to split the two entities apart. We Are Xbox is literally that. We are our own entity. And so she's already seen the problem that I'm talking about. And she's already made inroads into splitting that. So what Microsoft does with AI and all of this stuff, that's them, man. And this side over here with Microsoft and with Xbox, they will deal with what they need to do. And if they need to integrate themselves into these, pods of work that Microsoft does around the world, which is great, they can and keep that separate from the main organization, and they can start filtering in all the good stuff that the gaming aspect can utilize. Do you reckon they will look at the price of the next? They will look at the price of the next gen console. Yeah, they will. But we won't know anything about the next gen pricing probably until maybe a month before release. I think they're going to keep a close tab on it. They're going to try and keep it as low as possible. I believe there's going to be 2 versions of the console. I just hope they make sure that memory is key here. And if the premium has 16 gigabytes of memory, the cheaper version, the entry model, has the same 16 gigabytes of memory, so we don't have any bottlenecks there. As long as they keep the memory, which is in my opinion the most important, the same, they can have a lower spec graphics card, same family GPU but slightly slower, that's fine. It's, nothing would change there in terms of building games. I wonder if any Microsoft shareholders have ever requested that sort of information, because surely if they do, as a publicly traded company, Microsoft needed to disclose it. It's a good question. I think they have. They must have, right? They must be asking these questions. You're a shareholder at the end of the day. You want to know your money's investment in Xbox is going the way it is. Seeing year-on-year declines, those questions have to be asked. There's no 2 ways about it, and they have to give them that information. As you say, they're a publicly traded company. I just guess they're giving that information off the books, so it's not being unveiled. And what you can't prove in questions, you don't have to. Get Series S down under 300 and Series X to 450. That would be a start. Helix also lets me use Steam on console. It does. And I think with that Devastator, I think you're going to find that Microsoft will take a cut from that. I can't see them not taking a cut from that. Only thing I wish is that it got an official release of FSR 4.1, like was rumored not too long ago. Doesn't that need an NPU? I haven't looked into FSR 4 a lot. Will that just work via software? I've got to say, Xbox needs a turnaround fast. Whole grain, they do. If Xbox wasn't in trouble, they wouldn't have said they are working, getting the fan base back. They know what they need to do. It makes me wonder if they go early with Helix and try beat the PS6 to the market by a year. I think that's the plan. But in order to... How can I say it? It's not enough just to release the console early. Like back when I forgot what the guy's name was. Sorry, one sec. I had his name and it just flew up in there. I keep forgetting because he's that dodgy Never Walk Alone's CEO, Peter Moore. Yeah, he's a part of a really crap football team now, really shoddy team. That's why I keep forgetting his name. If he was invested in a proper team like Man United, I wouldn't forget it. But shoddy teams are shoddy teams, right? Anyway, getting back to it. During the era of the 360, Peter Moore was very aggressive. Very, very aggressive. And he went and got those deals with all around the world. Be it, Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey. And these games were helping sell the platform. As long as they have the software, the platform will sell. You need the software. Software is king, as they say. I don't think they can hold out much longer. They're going to have to push the Helix. With the way the Series X is losing... look at it. Where is it? They've lost 33% for over 2 years now without any form of improvement. Any form of improvement. It's been 33% down quarter after quarter after quarter. And I know that number theoretically gets smaller every time, but it's crazy that it's never actually gone up at all. I mean, it did have one bump when they done the flash sale of the Series X, but yeah. Aside from being a Scouser, a fan of the club, he's a former CEO though. That explains everything. While he was there, Liverpool were winning. Now that he's gone, Liverpool are just nothing. I wonder as well with Helix, if they were to have other launchers potentially, you think they could have them as launchers only, not include the storefronts? They could, because Tim Sweeney at the time in the interview said that they would have to create a new app that would work on Helix and that they would be working on it. So I assume Steam would be doing the same thing, but then that would technically be a roadblock and defeat the purpose of what Helix is trying to do to a certain extent. But it would just be a roadblock, right? I mean, it's not impossible. It could just open up the front. I mean, technically, going by what you're saying, the Xbox app itself will provide you what you need anyway. If you go to the Xbox app, you can go to your library, go to your filters, set Steam, and your Steam games just come up now. So they could technically do that, but that's obviously the ones that are installed in your drive only. So it's possible, but I think they will give you access to the storefront. And I think Microsoft will take a nominal 10% fee for the third-party games instead of the 12.5% they take right now. So it wouldn't be much of a difference with the third-party games. If they actually get that 10% from the third-party games, then they're good to go. All first-party games will not be available through the console, most likely available on other storefronts, and they will only be available on the Xbox store. That again makes a lot more sense to me, but again, we don't know what they're planning. Honestly, Chaos, I think they will have to go back to exclusives. They need to incentivize people to get the console if they want to improve. Yeah, and your downfall started in 2020. See? I don't know how the exclusives will work in this climate. You see, that's where we're getting to next, right? But I do like this one over this statement over here. Classic case of short-term gains and long-term damage. That's why you see Return of Xbox by the new CEO, which is bang on. But this, ignore the break-in. This, I don't even know who this guy is. He's just trying. No one cares what he posted, but I'm using this as an example because this is what I personally believe is going to happen. Xbox has decided to end the day one releases on Game Pass, which is essentially what they're doing with Call of Duty. Now, he's saying it's entirely, he's on, he's like, I don't know what he's on. According to an anonymous insider, so basically this is all bollocks, Microsoft will no longer require all first-party games to, I mean, do you need an insider to tell you that after they took Call of Duty off? So like I said, this guy is just, looking for something, throwing in the word insider to keep him, to try and be relevant. And it didn't really work, right? It didn't work. Each release will now be decided on a case-by-case basis. Now, this is the part that I do believe is actually true. The announcement is expected later this year, but not soon, as leadership wants the backlash from Call of Duty's removal from Game Pass to settle first. Now, in terms of Gears of War, we haven't seen anything of information. Now, I think Gears of War will be a clear test for Microsoft. They're either going to make it exclusive and leave it on Game Pass to see what the sales will look like. right? Because that makes sense to me. Now, the next big game to come along, they're going to look at that and say, right, this one is not going to be on Game Pass day one. And then they're going to say, right, let's see what happens. And they're going to start experimenting. And when they find the right balance or what they believe is correct, that's what they're going to go with. Or they might turn around and go, right, this game isn't available day one, but it will be available in 2 weeks, to see who is not willing to wait for 2 weeks to play the game. Instead, they want to buy the game day and date to play it. Or maybe they'll turn around and say, look, the game is available in 2 weeks, but if you want to buy it today, instead of paying $70, you can get it for $50. That sort of thing for the Xbox customer. And so I think there's going to be a lot of experimenting going on. But I do feel like this is a clear statement that is happening right now. I don't know who this guy is, and I don't really care. You've had a proper downfall. We've won the title. We've not had a proper downfall. We won the title last year. No. Your goons went to the FA and fixed the leadership board. That's how you won the title last year. I think they've had more than that. Whole grain bread. I mean, 1% is nothing. That's not really growth. They also need to work on Xbox PC app. The worst part is they aren't far off. It's a very good launcher. I like the launcher. I've got no problems with the launcher. I find it can be a little bit sluggish because they just try to animate so much in there, when really just keeping it simple, not heavy, is the best way forward. They just try to do too much with the glowing sides and whatnot, and so the response between what you're doing on controller sometimes can feel sluggish. Look at my Discord again. I saw that. We'll talk about that in a second, Paul, because that is not Resident Evil. I doubt that people would just wait for the Game Pass release. No, that's what I'm saying. These are all going to be tests, right? It's going to be tests to see if the amount of people that don't wait and buy it day one, because I'd buy it day one. I'm not going to wait 2 weeks to play it, or 3 weeks to play it. If Gears releases and that's what they do, I'll buy it. I want to play it day one. Right? If Halo did that, I'd buy it day one. But if South of Midnight did that, I'd wait for 2-3 weeks. So I think you'll find that AA games will go day and date regardless. But it's the bigger tentpole titles that they're going to do this with. And I think you'll find that the smaller games are going to go multi-platform with this decision, but the bigger titles won't. So it'll be kind of like how Phil did it with his, give and take. I wouldn't say that. You're still going to get day and date games from Xbox. But they've already opened that Pandora's box, Raichi, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, this is my opinion, right? I don't work for Microsoft. I'm not a Microsoft insider. I don't know anyone inside Microsoft. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing happening right now in real time, and I'm making those deductions based on what I'm seeing. Because you don't once you open Pandora's box, it's, you can't close it. It's like the whole cat in the box. The cat's locked in the box, but you've got a 50% chance that the cat is dead, a 50% chance that the cat is alive, but you don't know. But once you open it, there's no 50%. You know what the answer is. And when Call of Duty once again sells in the millions on Xbox, Microsoft will know. They already do the 3-day early access thing for buying. Yeah, but that's not enough. When you say, hey, you get the game 2 weeks early or a month early, that's a lot more of a pull than 3 days. People are willing to wait for 3 days. Not so much for 30 days. The console sales were mostly negative every time. Everything else went up and down. If they do that, then they should stop games going to PlayStation. I mean, that's the idea, gaming. The games that what they're looking at, what these tests are going to establish is if in the community on Xbox with people buying more consoles, because I've seen, like, on my timeline, I'm seeing more and more people in the US, in Europe, buying Xbox consoles. Obviously, I'm not saying millions. I'm seeing like a couple here, a couple there, but more people are buying now than they were before, and they are appearing on my timeline. But the question that they're going to check to see is, has this made a difference to their sales? Are the sales enough to justify this sort of action? If the answer is yes, then you'll see that they may go in that direction. If the answer is absolutely no, it's made no difference, and they've actually made things worse, then they'll probably go third party entirely. You think it was an awesome trailer? What about that trailer was Resident Evil? There wasn't a single thing in that Resident Evil trailer that was Resident Evil, outside of the name. Oh, who's crying? Sorry, chat, one sec. Who's crying? Oh, Oreo! Oreo, my little baby! Okay, let me just get him. You're so fluffy. Fluffy, oh, you're so fluffy. Okay, you can go now. Have fun in the great outdoors. Go have your dump and come back. Lena, go back to bed. Alright, I'm back. Also, don't forget, I don't think Microsoft had anything during this quarter this year, so nothing's really come out compared to last year this quarter, where they had games like Avowed, South of Midnight. So they had games last year. This year they didn't have anything, so that also impacted the sales numbers. Nope, they will not. Stephen, that's your prerogative, man. The cat is out of the hat. Schrodinger's cat, that's the one. COD was anomaly. There was always questions about it going to. I've said from the very beginning that it should never go into the service. It was going to create too many problems. But, you know, the arrogance of Microsoft carried them through, and then they learned the hard way. I don't think it should have been there day one. But once you put it in there, you shouldn't. You don't remove it. You've committed. Don't change that. COD amounted to, I think, 8% of the sales on Xbox. 8 to 9% of the sales. I'm guessing with COD 7 or 6, sorry, whichever one it was, it probably amounted to 0% of the sales. 8% is a huge amount. Still, no matter how you look at it. It's a lot of money. They will know that they finally produced a great COD game. I will let Chaos beta test Gears E-Day for me. Straight up. Straight up. Let's see. Yeah, hardware's been in crazy decline, man. Hardware's been in crazy decline. It's always been in like the 20, almost 30% all the time. Mental. In 2022, they were right though. Before the ABK merger, they did quite well in 2022. And then in 2023 is when it went downhill. In 2024, when the ABK merger came in and settled, that was very profitable and the numbers looked all green. And then shit started hitting the fan again in 25. And 26 has just been red all over. I mean, they already decreased the value of Game Pass, haven't they? By removing stuff. Sorry, Stephen, when you say the answer is no, what are you referring to? The Resident Evil trailer was bad? I know, right? South of Midnight released in April. It wasn't part of the first quarter. Fair enough. I'm just going. I don't have the figures in front of me. I'm just going off memory. I wasn't that far off, to be fair, but yeah, it still had Avowed, right? And Avowed was Game of the Year contender. Yeah, Resident Evil was a good game. Genuinely though, if they were to scrap Day One games on Ultimate, they'd probably get battered with a class action for subscriptions being missold. They would. Which is why I don't think they're going to be doing that with every game. Like I said, I think it's going to be select. Because if they can get away with it for COD, they can get away with it for other games. Whether it's one game or 10 games, it makes no difference, right? The fact is the same law would have been broken. And if no one is crying about it now, then what difference? What difference does 1 or 10 make? Shinzo, you missed me being awesome and amazing. And despite all of that, I still didn't get any likes on this stream. Oh, the Helix one? I think you'll see it's just going to be about tools and stuff. Chaos, why isn't COD from 2003 to 12 not on Game Pass Ultimate? Because they still sell and make money. A lot of money. Believe it or not, they still sell. The way Bethesda titles and other ABK titles like Crash, Spyro, and Tony Hawk are on the service. I mean, even when you're looking at Crash and Tony Hawk, they came a lot later, right? Crash came, a lot of these games came a lot later than their release date. With the Bethesda games, everything went almost day one. In fact, it pretty much was day one. But ABK games like Call of Duty, they've purposefully kept them off. Some of them are due to licensing, like the Transformers games, no doubt. But the majority of them, of the COD games, are selling. And so they're filtering them through sporadically so they can milk as much money out of those games as humanly possible. Kind of assume what Chaos said at the start of the stream was correct. It's not really meant for consumers so much. No, it's not. If it was, they would have made a much bigger announcement for it. They would have been posting about it, telling all gamers to be there, or be square kind of thing. The usual stuff about it to get people excited and whatnot. This is just aimed for developers, which isn't, it's still going to be interesting. People had been questioning why COD wasn't in Game Pass. That's why Xbox decided to include it. I mean, yeah. Well, no. People were questioning, is Game Pass going to be on there? Is Microsoft going to be able to do that and maintain the money that they could potentially lose from it? The idea was that if they put it on Game Pass, they would get an influx of Game Pass subscribers. Now, they did get a lot of Game Pass subscribers. Satya Nadella himself is quoted saying that they received the highest new subscriptions on that day with Call of Duty, or that month, than with any other game. And I think they said they went up by 10% or 15%, something like that. I can't remember exactly the number. But the question is, how many of those people actually stayed on? And then what I'm seeing here is a lot of people probably didn't. And it didn't end up the way they wanted. If Call of Duty brought in 20 million subscribers, Call of Duty would have stayed on Game Pass. Right? If Call of Duty inspired 40 million people to come in and say, we want to play this, they want on Game Pass, we'll pay for that subscription and get it done, you can bet your bottom dollar that Call of Duty wouldn't have left Game Pass. But it didn't live up to what their expectations. And so they'd rather make money from sales than through microtransactions. Because I'm sure they made a lot of money through microtransactions. They made, put it this way, I don't buy Call of Duty, right? I haven't bought Call of Duty since the 360 days of Modern Warfare 2. I didn't like it. I was actually there day one at midnight to buy it from Game at the time. Scary times, by the way. It was really fun queuing up at midnight, waiting for it to open, to pick it up and come home. I came back, jumped on my 360, played with my friends until morning. It was great. I miss those days. Nothing can match those days. But that game was filled with campers literally the moment you started playing. It was horrible. And so from that point, I just didn't bother with it. Black Ops, the original, was amazing in contrast. I played 300-400 hours on that game, which might seem rookie numbers, but hey, it was my Black Ops at the time. It was the first incarnation. I spent hundreds of hours on that game. I think I played one more on PS Plus, and then the other one I played was the last two on Game Pass. But I wouldn't have bought them otherwise. But what the last two Call of Duties have had me doing is paying £30 for the early access. My kid likes skins that he was playing when he did jump onto Call of Duty, so I bought him the skins and a few other bits and bobs. So they did get money off me, and I'm sure there are loads of people like me out there when they wouldn't have got a single dime out of me. And now the game is off Game Pass, they're not going to get a dime off me. I'm just not interested. And it's not that I've got anything against the game. The franchise hasn't inspired me. Look at the image. I did. Do you want me to show it on screen? Lies and slander. What am I lying about? Power Bossy. Power Bossy, what am I lying about? 10% was day and date. Thorough Chaos. Only Diablo and Crash came later. Fair. But where's all the other games, Stephen? Like all the back catalogue of Activision. Where are they? And Tony Hawk 3 and 4 was a new release, was it not? So that would go day and date. There's a lot of Bethesda games that aren't in Game Pass, granted. They're things with low interest, generally, like Brink or Wet. Yeah. But the big ones went day one, right? The ones that are going to make the impact went day one. And Epic is bigger than the Game Pass. I mean, the Epic games at the moment that are free are kind of just no good. Black Ops 7? I thought Zombies was good. I liked Zombies. I enjoyed Zombies. I thought Black Ops 6 campaign was a million times better than, excuse me, Black Ops 7 though. You know, when you have those tailored experiences where you have the Michael Bay explosions and stuff and whatnot, the true cinematic movie-esque things, that's what you want with Call of Duty. You want those high-octane moments. I feel like a lot of that was missing in 7. It was a trippy LSD showcase. Well, let's also not forget, without Phil's baby, Xbox would be gone today. Phil is the reason, as we know, that Xbox is even still around. So people should still be thankful for him. But like I said, right? Everyone, I've seen a few posts saying Asha did nothing to help the numbers. She's only been here for 2 months, right? The next 3 months, I expect to see at least some change. Because then she'll have been in office for nearly half a year. So a little bit of a change, maybe a little bit, making some of those numbers a little more positive. I'm not saying like turn the Xbox sales from minus 33 to plus 100. I'm not even saying go from minus 33 to a positive. But if it goes from minus 33 to say minus 5%, that's a huge improvement. When you're looking at the financial numbers and you're looking at where is it? The revenue down by 7%. If you get that to 0% or plus 1%, it's still an improvement. So I expect to see some change. I'm not expecting miracles though, because it's still not enough time for her to make the necessary changes. She's going to be experimenting a hell of a lot right now to see what works and what doesn't. She's also learning on the job because she doesn't really know the gaming business. So there's a lot going on. What was 50 million subs? Game Pass was above 40 million quite some time ago. So, Vanguard was the best COD game. Always the controversial one. Yes, Black Ops 6 Game Pass subs jumped to 55 million. I'm not so sure about that. Open media link. I'm also just going to fast forward the chat because I'm missing a lot. Gaming, thank you for the new membership, my dude. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support, man. Okay, I've just scrolled down to the bottom because I'm missing a lot of chat now in real time. June Phil officially leaves and her strategies will come to fruition from then on. I think her strategies have started now. I think her strategies have already kicked in. She's already got the ball rolling and she's doing the work. It's just going to take time. Rabbi, I'm doing good, thank you. How about yourself? When I see gamepads line up, I'm always more excited about third party. But this is the revenue numbers that what's his? I feel bad now. My memory's fried at the moment. The whole grain bread scent. I'm doing good, Rabbi. How are you? You can see that, in terms of hardware, it's been heavy decline, man. And it's kind of maintained outside of this one over here, that 30%. It's just been hitting hard. So this was pre-ABK. This is post ABK, and you know 1%, 9%, which is good. This is when ABK finally came in, and they got that revenue boost from ABK, which looked nice. It still looks nice over here. And once you look at it over here, this is when they finally normalized everything and put it into what it should be. And then the numbers just started flatlining again. It's crazy that even Activision Blizzard can't keep them in the green. It's insane. You're looking at a company that makes billions of Call of Duty, and even that's not enough to keep them afloat. That's back to 2020, yeah. And don't forget, these numbers here are the COVID numbers, right? I mean, you can see the impact COVID had. COVID was huge, even on YouTube channels, except mine. On all the YouTube channels, people were gaining tens and thousands of subs. My channel sucks, so I got none. But you can see it over here. The clear impact that COVID had, because people were just stuck at home consuming media and on mediums that just was unparalleled. And then people started seeing freedom, and it's been downhill. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Nah, COVID was still here in 21. The COVID boom went a while. The chip shortages was a huge problem. It wasn't until 2022 really that things went back to normal here in London. A lot was still people were still scared to go out. They wouldn't go out. They still were social distancing and all that shit didn't stop until like the end of 2022. Although I still see it in shops right now. What was your question, Rebby? Microsoft CEO says Xbox is recommitting to our core fans as revenue falls. Yeah, that's what we're talking about now, Rebby. This is what we're talking about now. What Microsoft is gonna potentially do and what they're thinking. Mate, we were in lockdown for a long time, man. And even after they restricted lockdown, it almost felt like we had a curfew here in London. Like it was weird. Even like supermarkets here in London, you could only have certain number of people in the shops. They were advising us not to go to the shops still. It wasn't until like late 2022 that we actually started having the freedom to go out and about. Even to the GPs, they weren't accepting more than like 3 or 4 people at a time in the building. So it may have like stopped in mid 21, but it like especially like here in London, also in places like Turkey as well, that I watch Turkish TV. It wasn't until like mid 22 where things started to get back to normal. But they were heavily pushing cloud around 22, 23. They were. They're still. I mean, it's weird how they've kind of stopped pushing cloud, right? Yeah, but you have a population of 15. We have a population of probably about 10 million. There is a difference when you have 10 million people living here, and then you have like 3 people living, or 15 people. 2020 was the best. Streets were empty. The lockdown, but you could outside it for an hour. I saw more people going on walks than Do you know that is true? Even I did more walks during the lockdown because we needed exercise. We needed to get out because we were stuck at home. Don't get me wrong, I'm a hermit. I could live at home for and not care just who I am. I'm literally a hermit. I don't like socializing much. I don't like going out much. I do it only because I have to, because interacting with civilization apparently is a thing that we need to do. No, we don't. It is, but you don't see the push and the drive. I also think Microsoft needs to do a lot more work when it comes to the cloud. I think there's still a lot of work to do. But, you know, Asher has said that, you know, there's a lot more work that needs to be done. They're looking at the numbers and seeing what works. And like I said, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more experiments coming our way. We're going to see a lot more experiments with the tentpole titles. But that's just my opinion, right? I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. Right? But I'm just looking at everything. I think exclusives are going to come back. And in what form they're going to be back, time will tell. Personally, like I saw someone else say, if you're going to make it exclusive and make it available on Steam, which is not inside the ecosystem, then there's no point. There's an argument for that, because you're still selling it outside of your ecosystem. But if you're looking at it for just console and ignoring PC entirely, time will tell if people will be willing to pay $3,000 for a PC to play those games, or pay $500 or $700, whatever it is, and get a console to play those games. Time will tell. Next time, just tell them it's closed. I hate the lockdown because it caused an upsurge in people wanting an allotment because they wanted to get out. People. uh. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this topic, which was a huge topic, to be fair. Any questions before I move on from this topic? Nothing? Okay, we can move on. Did COVID have life to gacha? Who knows? But I think that gacha games, at this point in time, the quality that goes into them at times is better than AAA games. And you get updates way sooner, a lot more content, and they keep you engaged. That's why they have such a huge following. And the fact that it gives you gambling dopamine. It feels great when you get the character. When you strike gold and you see that gold, oh man, it feels so good. Until you find out it's not the character you wanted, and then you start crying and throwing your PC out the window. Not that I have any experience in doing any of this. Just saying. That's not the reason why I had to upgrade my PC recently. Okay? Spiders confirms it will be liquidated. Now, Spiders is a studio owned by Nason, and Nason has been in financial trouble for some time. First off, we apologise for the silence over the past month. It's been a while. We're going to cut straight to the chase, so you're not left wondering. After a long period without clear answers, we have received confirmation that Spiders is being liquidated. Now, Nacon has been trying to find a buyer for Spiders games for a little while, and it looks like it finally got to the point where they ran out of time. No one was willing to buy them, and it's sad because it's a sad day when any studio closes. I don't know what they really worked on personally, but still, it's sad when a studio has to shut down. A lot of jobs are being lost, and in this day and age, it's getting harder and harder to find jobs in the field that these guys work in. Most people don't even go back into video games, so a lot of talent is getting lost anyway, and they go into other software building like websites and apps and stuff like that, where they make way more money. So a lot of talent is being lost in the games industry because of these closures. What does it mean? This means that the company as a whole no longer exists. We'll cease our functions immediately. The planned DLC will release via Nacon, and then, well, that's it. We're sorry that it's come to this and would like to thank each and every one of you for your support over the years. If you have any questions or run into issues with your games, please contact Nacon directly, as we'll no longer be able to reply. Lots of Spider-Man games back in the day, I think. Okay, so they made the Technomancer, Mars Log, Greedfall. Shit, wasn't that game liked by everyone and like people were loving that game? Or am I misremembering? Steel Rising? That sounds like the Command and Conquer game. If I'm not mistaken. Need to take the bin down, so switching you onto my phone. That's what we like to hear. I believe they also made some Styx games. Why did they make Greedfall 2 turn-based? Who knows? Greedfall wasn't for me anyway. Don't take what you said seriously. What did you say? Oh, the Spider-Man. Part 1 is beloved. Robotic Souls-like. So it's a shame. And, Nacon did try to find a buyer for them, and they couldn't. And it's it's one of those situations where you kind of wanted someone to step in, and it didn't really happen. Oh, I remember that. I always wanted to pick that up, but I never got around to it because I'd never have enough time in the day to play enough games. Which is, a shame in itself. Let's have a looky here. Here's the Still Raises trailer with a bit of audio, and I've shared the screen. I can see people being interested in this. This definitely isn't for me. I did the Anby song? Wait, what? The bosses look creative though. So yeah. It's been on PC since 2022. I only heard about it when it was coming to consoles. I don't know. May have been. It's just a shame the studio's closing down, right? It's just a shame. If, like me, you have a Xbox Ally or an Ally X, there's more stuff coming to your device. Docking improvements, so you get better performance, I believe, a better screen. I believe this is also the Auto SR stuff. Super wideband stereo voice, upgraded vibration tech. Well, no, this is the Super SR. Enters Xbox Preview Inside. So they're doing a lot of work with the handheld. So hopefully this Auto SR does a lot of good things with performance, and we'll see a lot of gain from it. Yeah, it reminds me of Days Gone's director, right? When he turned around and said, if you guys wanted a Greedfall 2, you should have fucking bought the game at launch. I guess a lot of people didn't buy the game at launch, and they waited for a sale and then bought it on sale. Sales matter. No matter what people say, sales matter. If games don't sell, it's in this climate, it's a thing. The problem we have today, though, which we didn't have years ago, is that there's too many games. Just look at the amount of games that have just come out over the last 2 weeks. It's insane. How do you have enough? If you literally have to just be sitting there playing games all day and night, not doing anything else, to get through them all. I struggle to get through like one game every 2 weeks, even if it's like a 20-hour game. It takes forever for me. I don't have the time I used to. And the younger generation, they're not interested in these games. Like, they saw me playing Ground Zero, and they're like, oh, that looks rubbish. They saw Pragmata, oh, not interested in that. What are you interested in? League of Legends. Okay. What are you playing right now? Stardew Valley. Saw me playing Saros. What's that? It looks boring. Okay. What are you playing? Minecraft. Okay. Yeah, but the problem with that, Power Boss, is people can only buy like one game or maybe two. People, so these studios are literally cannibalizing themselves by releasing their games so soon, like so close to each other. You missed the point completely, Power Boss, but you're part of the problem. Real men play Baby Steps on PS5 Pro at 120 FPS. Chili plays Baby Steps. Yeah, I do. I mean, I bought Pragmata day one, but it's fucking disgusting what they're saying about the players. It's. I just find people hate for the sake of hating, right? You no longer see anything that people are happy with games. Look, let me show you something, right? I want to show you guys something. I met someone today on Twitter. And it's crazy. This interaction is insane, right? This interaction is like, what even is this? Is this even Twitter? So Kojima posted a 4/30, right? Showing Solid Snake. Did my first ever Metal Gear Solid 2 speedrun in celebration of this day. Thank you, Kojima. And he got 2 hours and 31 milliseconds, right? So I posted, best I did was 157 with both ship and oil rigs. I did watch the hind D scene though. I shouldn't have, but was totally worth it. That's a beautiful time. Gonna try beat that tonight. It took me like back then on the PS2, I think like 7 or 8 attempts to get that 1 hour 57. I still had to watch that hind D. I watched it every time. It's a beautiful scene. And then the guy responds to me. He came back and posts and says, I got it in the second go. Feels good, man. Very easy mode, by the way, which is fine. I got nothing wrong. They did it in 1 hour and 40 minutes. It's just such a great interaction. You don't see that on social media today anymore. It's all, oh, that is shit, man. That's rubbish, man. That's crap, man. You're just a shill, man. People just want to hate for the sake of hating. When you see interactions where people actually are enjoying video games and enjoying what gaming is, it hits so different, man. It hits so different, and it's so nice to see. It is. A lot of Greedfall fans wanted Greedfall 2. What we didn't want was them to switch genres and make it turn-based. I mean, that's on them, right? Big Scarlet, if they make a mistake like that, that's on them at that point. But like I said, a lot of people just want games to fail today. They don't want to give it a chance, even if it might be good. Alright, decent. They don't care, they just want it to fail. I remember someone wanted to kick my ass. For what reason, Shinzo? Well, I've been deep in Hades 2, which kept me away from Pragmata and replaced, and I bought Invincible today. You get the point then, John. It's always positive about certain... I'm always positive about certain games. Oh, so you're positive about Metal Gear Solid, Banisher. That Metal Gear Solid is better than Splinter Cell. Is that right, Banisher? Am I understanding that right, Banisher? MGS over Splinter Cell. Chaos only typical interacts with Roadman. Power Boss, I'm not serious, man. What did he say? See, MGS is better. Banisher will agree too. Yeah, as soon as I heard turn-based, I was out. I can't do it. I mean, turn-based could be fun though, depending on the game. But this is the sort of, like, it's nice when you have that sort of interaction. And it brings a smile to my face. Because it looks, you know, there are people out there that genuinely do enjoy video games. But what about that? What about that? I still need to finish this game. At some point, I'm going to finish it. But 8 million copies sold. That's crazy. For me, the story, as long as the story is good, the gameplay comes second. For me, in a game, it has to have a good story. The story comes first above everything. Except for Grandia 2. Grandia 2 had a good story. It wasn't an amazing story, but the combat in Grandia 2 is the best turn-based combat in any turn-based game. Has anyone here played Grandia 2? Oh, you can't be like that, Banisher. You gotta be one of those people that pick one over the other. Grandia 2 was great. Grandia Extreme had a terrible story because the developers realized that people loved the combat of Grandia 2 so much that they tried to improve upon it and basically focused the whole game on and made the whole game rely on the merits of the combat system. That was a bold move there. That was a really bold move. It didn't work out well for them, but it was a bold move. But Grandia 2's combat system is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's the best turn-based system I've seen in a video game. I still need to finish the game. I can't even remember where I was. At this point, I might just restart the game entirely. You know? Yeah. My favorite scene is one of my favorite scenes is right at the beginning of the game on Grandia 2. Because, you start off as a nobody, you're hired to do something, the usual stuff. And the game sets the tone quite quickly. You're going into the forest and you find a woman there getting attacked, and then she gets all snotty with you, saying, I'm the priestess, do you even know who I am, and all this, and tries to act all righteous. And the main character just turns around and goes, I'm sorry, are you expecting me to give a damn? And then just walks away. It was so good, but it really set the tone of the game. Like, she's like declaring how he has to do all this and all that, and he's like, no, I don't give a shit, man. You either follow me or you stay here. I've been told I need to get to this location. They didn't explain whether you had to be there, alive or dead. Just, you can follow me and stay safe, or die back there. But I'm going this way, so if you're not following me, good luck over there. And he just walks off. It was great. It set the perfect tone. I do remember good times in that game. It was good. Black John, definitely. It's such a good game. You will thank me. It is so good. I think they actually did a remaster recently of it. Let me see if they actually did. I'm pretty sure they did. They did a Grandia 1 remaster. Did they do a Grandia 2? Yeah, they did. Grandia 2 HD edition. I might pick it up myself and just play it again. Hey, he even got a... I'm not even going to say his name. It might put you off playing it. That's a tricky thing to do. It's just called HD edition for the sequel. Yeah, look, I'll put a trailer up. Man, I feel like my PC is sluggish nowadays. I don't even know why. But this is a trailer for 19 years ago. This was a game I played on the Dreamcast. It had a good story as well, really good story. One of the greatest RPGs of all time. Famitsu gave it 35 out of 40. There he is, Ryudo and the Priestess. A game that will always live on in our fondest memories. No, there is more than memory. This is the return. It was remastered. HD. New widescreen graphics. Look at that guy running at the front. Legend.
So filled with power.
Man, if you know, you know, but there's some spoilers here. So good. So good. This game was amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, they changed the combat system slightly. Some people liked it, some people didn't. It added on to the combat system of number 2. They focused. Grandia Extreme was more of an experiment to see, because Grandia Extreme was supposed to be. They basically experimented with it to see what worked and what didn't, and there was supposed to be another game called Grandia Free, but it never came to be. I was 12. Dude, trust me. Black John, if you like RPGs, play this game. You will thank me, and I'd love you to come back and tell me what you thought of it. yes, you are. This was, Square Enix game. Made by Game Arts. Truly good game, man. Truly good. So, for those of you, when I let you guys know that Wasteland was free, if you remember, it was free on Xbox to claim. Well, apparently that was a mistake. It was a big mistake. And so, in Exile say a couple of weeks ago, an error made Wasteland Remastered free on Microsoft Xbox Store. But what people snagged before we fixed the glitch can't actually be played. So, we're giving them one that can. If you are lucky enough to redeem it, you'll soon see the non-working game removed from your library, and you'll have a new copy to claim waiting for you in your offers and credits. Now I'm going to copy this link address. If you did claim it, it hasn't appeared for me yet, personally. So there you go. And that's a Twitter link. It's not going to let me copy anything the actual link. But if you did claim it, like I told you to at the time, now at some point they're going to send you a free code for the actual game. They're going to honor their mistake and let you keep the game. Yeah, mine hasn't. Mine hasn't, so I don't really know. I got no notification for it or anything, so I don't really know. However, I do have everything wishlisted on sale at the moment, so I could technically buy them and, be happy. But I don't know. It's basically every Final Fantasy game that I've wishlisted. But I didn't receive anything for that. And even looking at the Xbox app, I've got nothing here in chats or anything telling me otherwise. Then again, Microsoft doesn't like me anyway, so they'll probably just ignore that I downloaded it and tell me to go piss off. It is the Microsoft way, unfortunately. I have not. I find very little time for gaming at the moment, and so I've got this thing now where I try to stick to one game and one game only till I finish it, and then I move on. Otherwise, I'll never finish games. And I've got a list of games I want to get through this year alone. And that list is quite long. And cancelled just to make sure it registered. And cancelled? What do you mean cancelled? You needed to get the standard edition. Or something like that. I can't remember. But I purchased it. If I remember, I'm pretty sure I did. I'll give it a try. I'll tell you what, I'll give it a try tomorrow. We've got community night tomorrow, so I'll let you know what I think. But do you want to know what is awesome? This. You've got the mobile users now crying with teary eyes But the Division Resurgence PC specs are now available. And the game is on Uplay to download right now. I've already installed mine. I reckon I can play this on very high settings. It needs an i7, well, a Ryzen 5 3600, which is pretty much what the equivalents of the current gen consoles are. I'm on a 9950 X3D, so I think I'm good for that one. It needs an NVIDIA GTX 1660 Ti. I've got a 3090 Ti, so I think I'm good with that one as well. And for the RAM, it wants a 6GB dual channel. I'm on 32 gigs, so I think I'm good with that too. So I'm going to be playing this a bit as well. Life is Strange Reunion is my favorite game of the year so far. Man, I still want to play that Banisher, but I need to finish Double Exposure first. I refuse to jump into Reunion without playing Double Exposure. I like you too, Shinzo. I like you too, but where's my 10 free subscriptions? But yeah, as you can see here, yes! I'm so happy that they finally decided. Yeah, you know, you got PC gamers down here crying that it's available. I don't care. Literally don't care. I wanted to play this. I like the beta that I played. I'm happy that they've done it. I feel some pillowcases with rocks. This will simulate the graveler sitting on my face. Old lemon juice to mimic it. What even? I don't even know what to say to that. Root vegetable. Division is like my guilty pleasure, right? The Division is like my guilty pleasure. It's one of those games that I have so many issues with, but I still love the franchise, the world it built around it, the storyline. I'm kind of sad I fell off the storyline because apparently it got really good as it went on. And so it's just one of those games that I keep wanting to go back to. My issue is that I started playing it on PlayStation when a lot of my friends, some of which are no longer with us, unfortunately, played it with me back then. But I can't, you know, I've spent a lot of time on that account. I don't have the time to restart. And Ubisoft just will not allow my code on the game to be cross-play or allow me to make it cross-save. If they just made it cross-save, I'd pick it up on the platforms that people I know right now that are playing it and continue playing it, but they haven't done that, so it sucks. I only stopped because I don't want to play solo, and like I said, a couple of my friends that I was playing with just aren't with us anymore. May they rest in peace. And so I'm not starting all over again. I can't do it. I have too many games to play on my playlist. Life is Strange Before the Storm, Double Exposure, and Reunion, Ragnarok. You know, I need to finish Ragnarok as well. Temu 2 I finished. Great game. Life is Strange Before the Storm. You're gonna really, really like that. That shit was what the? Because you've played the original Life is Strange, right? And if you have, and if you remember the story, there'll be a lot of like callbacks to it that you'll pick up, and a lot of it will make sense. And it's crazy how that goes. Great game. I cannot recommend it enough. It's such a good game. Nacon, sorry for the delay, but we're finally back. Nacon Connect returns for its 2026 edition live on May 7th, 2026 at 8 p.m. CET, 11 a.m. PST. So I assume that's 10 a.m. my time? Or is that 6 p.m. my time? Man, can't they just ever put GMT in there or UTC? Hogwarts Legacy is free? Are you sure? I mean, I think it was free on there before, wasn't it? I was on the Epic Game Store just a little while ago and it didn't have it on there. Oh, it is free. Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, I've already got it in my library. Grab it. Hogwarts Legacy. On the Epic Game Store. But yeah, by the way, Comic-Con is happening down in London at the house at the Excel building. Is anyone in that from the UK? I don't expect people to go there from any other place. But is anyone in the UK gonna be there May 22nd to May 24th? I'm thinking of going there. So if anyone is planning to be there, might be cool to do like a meet and greet, meet some people. It's not a free convention to go to naturally, but I don't know, if people are interested in going there, might be a cool thing to think. No, getting to and from London is a pain in the ass. It's called a train. You sit there and do nothing. It'll take you from Liverpool to probably Victoria or Cannon, and then you get on the Elizabeth line and it'll take you straight there. See? Super easy. It just costs money. Of course I love you all. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you all, man. This is the point, right? This is the point, Rachie, where people start showering me with super chats and memberships. This is your moment. But yeah, so I don't know what time that is in GMT. I'm not good with the US to UK time zones, but it does fall on a Thursday. So we will be checking that out next week, Thursday. It'd be Euston. You can probably get the Elizabeth line to go from Euston. You crazy? It's like £40 a ticket. $27 if you want to go to the long queue. Trust me, gaming, if I actually made any money off this channel, which I don't, but if I did make money off this channel, I'd be doing a lot more stuff like that. That reminds me, I need to start giving away some more games. I know they're Steam games, but I've got a huge list of them. I need to start getting my kid to give them away every stream. Starting from next week, Tuesday, we'll do 3-4 giveaways every stream. The list is growing. I keep meaning to do it because my son is supposed to come in and do the giveaways while I'm just doing what I'm doing here. But yeah, I keep forgetting to arrange it. And by the time I remember, I'm midstream and forget. But I'll make sure I get that sorted out for next Tuesday. Microsoft's DLSS competitors now available on Xbox Ally X handheld. As we already know, Xbox insiders can now try out Auto SR, which improves frame rates and visual quality in PC games. Do I even have that? Let me have a look. Do I have it? I'm just having a look on my... I don't think I'm in the insider program anymore. So I don't know. But I probably have to check for updates. Update center. Check for updates. He's a lot better. We're trying to find out what he's allergic to. They've refused to do the tests for a number of years now, but now that things have gotten a little more serious with him, they've agreed to do the prick test on him. Oh, there's a lot of updates. Holy shit. This is good. There is a... Okay, update all. Update everything. The updates that were previously released for Xbox are coming for the insiders are now coming your way in the April update. So that's going to be good. And if you're wondering what these are, pin more groups to your home. This is for the Xbox dashboard. This is the Xbox updates, by the way, for your home console. Previously, you could only have 2 pins. Now you can have up to 8. Per tile, quick resume settings. Per title, sorry. So now you can change your game's quick resume. If it's a live service game, you can set it to never quick resume. So you don't have to kind of go into the game with quick resume, wait for it to disconnect, then go back to the title because you can't find it, the connection, and then re-log in. You can just set it to, once you've gone off the game, it will just turn itself off. You can customize your colors and options. Your play history tab is going to be there. That will show whether you've played the games on console, handheld, PC. User selected resolution and network quality indicator for cloud gaming is going to be added as well. Cool stuff. All good things. Apparently it's still rolling out because I didn't get it. Well, I'm on the insider, so I don't know. But apparently people are still waiting for it. I think Kel should go to the Liverpool Comic Con. Why? I'll be kidnapped. Mate, I'm gonna go. You want me to walk into Liverpool? Do you think there is any possibility of me being safe wearing my Manchester United jersey? Because that's the only way I'm gonna walk into Liverpool. I'm gonna have my Man United jersey on me. Do you think there's going to be any way that I'm going to come out of there in one piece? Yeah, the insiders got it early, Black John. We've had it for a while. IGN gave the Steam controller 9 out of 10. It's a good controller, gaming. It's a very nice controller. It's just, it only works with Steam. And it's a bit silly. No, you're going to as a pirate. I would offer protection on a one-time basis. Yeah, it's gonna be like, hey guys, that's the guy. Which one? The one in that one over there. Get him. This is how you disable quick resume. You just pick up the game you want, disable quick resume. That's it. Wait. What game was that Tom Warren is playing? I saw it. Oh, it's recently added. Okay, never mind. Oh, he's showing how the setting, everything's done. Oh, this is a nice little demo. Good on you, Tommy Warreny. You don't think? I mean, to be fair, on console, it's literally one click of a button to become an insider. You may have done it and forgotten about it. Well, if you've ever wanted to know what his profile was, Tom Warren. On your PC Xbox app, it's rolling out at the moment. Few more things to talk about before we're done today. Battlefield Hardline. It is being delisted on May the 22nd. It is going to be gone. It's still going to be available on PC, but the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version is being delisted. Now, if you're in the UK, this is 74 pence. I bought mine today because I just said, why not? Right? When you click on it, it shows that you've already got it because it's PC. What is it? The EA Access. But if you scroll down on the Xbox version, you'll see standard version. That's the one you're looking for. And it'll be on sale for 74 pence. At the very least for the campaign, if you haven't played it, it's worth it. 74 pence for this is, you know, easy. It's an old game, but for 74 pence, it's worth it. So if you want it because it's being delisted and it's being gone, pick it up. 74 pence is nothing today. I mean, the PC version is still going to be around. There's no reason for them to remove that because they could just pirate it if they didn't. On PC, the Ultimate Edition is £1.74 as well. The PC version isn't being removed. I'm just saying for those on the console, but that's a good price. It, you know, £1.74. But for those of you that are on console only, it is being delisted. I didn't own this. I mean, I don't even know if I think I've played Hardline. I remember playing it at least. Might have been through EA Access or something. Either way, it's cheap as chips. Yeah, there's no reason, right, not to buy it. It's super cheap. Chili! My chili! Chili, I'm told you're a Nintendo fanboy. Oh. Streets of Rage 4 is free on Epic Games Store mobile. Man, I saw free on Epic Games Store and I went straight there. I didn't even see the mobile. That made me sad when I found out. But yeah, if you've got Epic Games Store on mobile, right now, Streets of Rage 4 is free on iOS and Android. That's what the latest news tells me. I can only go by the latest discovery. I heard things, Chili. I heard things. So yeah, Streets of Rage. If you have mobile Epic, grab it. Lost Odyssey on Xbox, one of the best RPGs I've played ever, is on sale again at $6.24. So it's roughly going to be $4.99. It is well worth it. Well worth the money. So do check it out. If you want it. It's not called Final Fantasy 13. It is called Lost Odyssey. Ignore this. Look, it's not Final Fantasy, okay? I mean, it's probably it probably could be passed off as a Final Fantasy, to be fair. It ticks all the right boxes. It just doesn't have a Cid, a Gaia, or a Ifrit. But other than that, or a Mother Crystal. If it had those four things, it would definitely be a Final Fantasy. Hey, Grey Monad, how's it going? I know, Black John. It was in my rotation. I just couldn't give you any spoilers. But now's your time to pick it up. Although that's... Alright, the last thing I want to talk about is this. Has anyone seen the Resident Evil trailer? Danny over here says it's day one for him. Has anyone seen it? I want to know what your opinions are of this trailer. I can't play it because it'll be instantly demonetized. It is beyond... I mean, there's nothing in this that is... There's nothing in this that's Resident Evil. I mean, it has, like, mutants and stuff, but... The actual the guy directing made a... You know... He explains how it's Resident Evil. So... Anyone interested in seeing his explanation as to how this game is Resident Evil, even though it looks like it has nothing to do with Resident Evil? I mean, they're all crazy, right? They were mental. Nah, this isn't out yet. No, this is the movie. So this is a.
This is for sure, bar none,
It is a 12-minute clip, video, and the director Zach Greger explains how this is actually a Resident Evil movie, and people should pick up on it immediately. Apparently, it's all broken down in this 12-minute video, and all the movie fans keep pointing to this breakdown with IGN and saying, look, if you watch this, you'll know that it's Resident Evil. But hey, if no one's interested in this, then I'm pretty much done for the day and we can call it there. Peace, Power Boss. There's not much else news-wise that's going on at the moment. Man, they are still coming at me. They are crazy. These movie fans do not know when to stop. Jesus. Tomorrow we're doing the community night. We're going to be playing Kiln. The two games that I've going to have set up is Kiln and Dead by Daylight. So we'll be switching between those. We normally get to play about 2 games per community night. Dead by Daylight seems to be an easy one that everyone can just jump in and jump out. Kiln may take the majority of the night. We're going to jump in with Kiln, which is available on Game Pass. Dead by Daylight is free on PC Game Pass. I think it might be on console as well now. I don't know. But yeah. NTE I'm streaming on Saturday. If you got to be told it is a Resident Evil movie, then it's not a I might try just get past the tutorial if I've got time, because I do want to give it a try and see what's improved over the betas that I played. But I'm already seeing a lot of people just uninstalling it because it's not doing anything different. And Wuthering Waves has just released their new update, which has me more interested in doing than this. But a lot of people here, especially those that are, Wuthering Waves is coming to Xbox in June, so anything I stream right now that's story related is super spoilers. So I kind of feel bad doing that to people, and I highly recommend Wuthering Waves to people. It is such a good game. You will not be disappointed. But anyway, do you guys want to check out this video? Yes or no? If not, then we'll just we'll call it there. I mean, like Special Nick says, I don't get it. It looks good, but what does this have to do with Resident Evil? That's what I'm saying. Up to chat. Give me a decision. I don't mind ending the stream now. I mean, it's only a 10-minute video. So we've got everyone saying no. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, Bullets, yours outvoted. I'll send you a direct link to it though, Bullets. You can check it out, because I hadn't seen it yet. I wanted to laugh at what they were going to suggest. But chat denied me again! Not even with a super chat. Ugh. The shit I have to put up with. There you go, Bullets. Alright, folks, I can't really see anything else at the moment that's of big news. That was pretty much it. Actually got out more than I was hoping for today. Fine,
you'll deny with a super chat.
There you go. There you go. Chili has denied with a super chat. If there's any more takers at $4, I can then counter what he said there and accept it. Just saying, going once, going twice. Alright, folks, I'm out. Also, don't forget, I'm going to go back to Final Fantasy 14 very soon. It's going to be at my other channel. I know I said I was supposed to have that video out last night. It's coming to... Well, I'm going to work on it today and get it done while I get the placeholder up for the community night stuff. So I couldn't do it yesterday because I ran out of notifications. You can only have 3 notifications per day. So it's happening after the stream. I'm going to get that up, talking about what's what. And yeah, do check out for that. It's an important update for all my channels. So I'll hope you get to check that out. But otherwise, I'll see you all tomorrow at the community night. And again, if anyone here is going to go to the Comic-Con London event in May, let me know. I'm hoping that I can go there if I'm well enough. And if I am, it'd be awesome to meet some of you that are able to go there. Peace, folks. I'm out. The Alliance raid is amazing. I can't wait. I still need to do the second Alliance raid. Take it easy, folks.